Hello, it's Nancy with True Confessions Part 2. Last week, I let you know that I had a meltdown because I was not on track to meet a deadline and a goal of the first copy of Conversations That Sell for Financial Advisor getting to the editor on time. And that in that meltdown, I realized that what I needed was to tap into stakeholders. And I found a great stakeholder who did help me put together a plan 11 days ago that has been very helpful. And in fact, I love my spreadsheet with my daily goals that I get to check off each day as I've done and show my progress. And this week, that stakeholder again came through when yesterday afternoon, I said I hit a wall and I was done. And I didn't mean I was done forever, but I was done for yesterday, meaning I was probably giving about 4 or 5 hours of productivity up. So they called me and told me that that was fine, that I could take the day off. I was like, great. And then they said, oh, and be ready then to make a phone call to your friend who's supposed to visit on Saturday and let her know that you can't visit with her because you've got to make up the hours for Wednesday when you were done. And I was like, oh, they brought up a great point. I had a choice. So I hit the wall, but then I had a choice of what I did. Yeah, I could say, okay, done for the day. I'll regroup tomorrow. Or I could say, what do I need to get back on track today? Because I don't want to be done today. So, of course, I did stay on track yesterday, and I'm excited for my friend to come this weekend. So that's been helpful. I've also tapped into additional stakeholders over this last week. So many of you reached out to me after the message resonated with you last week. So I've asked advisors that I work with to confirm and clarify different examples and stories that they've shared with me and I've collected over the years. And they've been very helpful and willing to do that, and I'll continue to do that. The other thing that I did was I set up motivational rewards, some short-term ones. So I'm a big delayed gratification person, but to keep on track with this intense schedule, I needed some shorter term rewards. So my friend coming on Saturday for a visit is one of them, and that kicked my butt yesterday. The second one was that I realized that if I can get this draft in a day early, I can go to FA Magazine's Women Invest in Women conference in West Palm Beach on Wednesday. And so that's a motivator for me as well. The other thing that I did was I thought about my environment, and the work that I needed to do this week was very tedious. It was a lot of proofing, and that I needed to have a lot of energy to be able to do that. And so I abandoned my office building, and you can see I'm in a different background. I set up in my living room so that I have 2 walls of windows and a lot of natural daylight. Also here, I can have music on as loud as I want. So sometimes I have energetic music on very loud and I'm singing along. Other times I have low playing acoustic music so that I can focus. And these 2 things for me are energizers and were the right thing for me to do this week. The other thing I did was I thought about what is the part that I'm really dreading doing. And because sometimes when we're dreading a part of the process, we procrastinate on things leading up to it so we don't get there. And for me, that was doing additional primary source research on many of the communication principles that I use. And I decided to go to Upwork and find out if there's people out there that would do that research for me and make sure that the research I have been using is the most recent and the most relevant. So I found somebody and I'm so excited. He's working away on it, and I will have all of that tomorrow, and I'll be able to either update research in certain parts of the book or not. But the book will have the most relevant and recent research. So very excited to get that off of my dread list. And so that's what I've been doing. I've changed my environment this week, and I have gone for additional stakeholders and tapped into short-term motivational rewards. So I ask you, last week, I encouraged you to think about something you were working on and where did you need a stakeholder and to reach out to them. Now, this week, I want you to think about your environment and your short-term rewards. What do you need in your environment to bring out the best of you, your best energy, your best focus as you're working on something that's important, and make those changes? Sometimes it's just adding an oil diffuser. Sometimes it's having music in the background. Maybe you need to change the location of your desk. But those are the things that you can look at this week. Now, I'll update you next week hopefully with the fact that I submitted it a day in advance and was at that conference and enjoying all the wisdom that's going to come from being with that group.